are Dust2, and we're into our last BO3 of the night here at Pro League. What a start. Twist blocks that smoke. That's sick. I don't think it's landed. It's beautiful. FaZe going to run up top mid and rain down some death. Bomb dropped, and MIBR, whatever plan they had, has gone out the window.
Yeah, it's all been disrupted immediately, and Karrigan's even getting involved now as well. They're down to have a full-on mid-fight, a full-on mid-brawl. They want to meet MIBR here. The results are already great for FaZe. My God, look at these movements. Like, how? There's a minute 20 left, and you're in T-spawn getting 4. This is wild. Pistol rounds aren't meant to start this way. Guys, let's change Dust2.
Based or burned, Harry? What do you think?
Adjusted. Oh. Secret option C. His exit's coming back with a bit of a reply. Oh, they pushed them all the way into T-spawn. They backed them into a corner, but that's where the claws come out. Just Henny and Tuurtle left up in this one, but hell, man, it's been a nice little recovery. Is stumbling back to their feet. Now they just need to stick the landing on this one. Twist's holding for the cross. Oh, they're running at him, but he does take the head off of Tuurtle, leaving it to Henny. Twist's a bit of a headshot king. This fight is not as easy as it may seem, and there's the long wrap, or sorry, the short wrap coming in from Rops. It was a long wrap in terms of the time frame, but little confusing with the spots. So, yeah, there's a pistol round for FaZe, Hugo.
Yeah, they get it under the rug despite a bit of a comeback there in the mid-round for MIBR. They hit some lovely shots as FaZe didn't know when to quit. Some players committed, some still stuck behind the doors, but you can always rely on Twists with the headshots, with the pistols, and FaZe come through with the first. I like that flex though for FaZe, right? We saw that game against For The Win, their opening matchup, and FaZe didn't have a lot of respect in that game, especially on CT sides, playing very aggressive, even on Inferno. Taking Banana every round and giving no room for FTW to play their game. MIBR already experiencing a similar situation. Pushes up long, pushes out lower, but it's only Glocks, so FaZe can get away with it. Karrigan, they're up in front of the smoke, but jumping makes it very hard to hit the head, and everyone's dead. It's just Henny.
Karrigan with a Hooksy-esque long doors push. Already some of that influence from Hooksy rubbing off.
Inspired by one of the best in-game leaders in the game, I think it's safe to say. But yeah, you know what I will say? I don't want to spend the FaZe game talking about Hooksy, but we will. What's been cool is actually the T-side calling has been really nice. Like, I've actually liked some of the variety of things that G2 have been doing in their games. So like fragging or not, like the calling does seem to work out. But
wrong Danish IGL, here we are. All right, Henny tried his hand at the long spawn, tried to get stuck in early, but only got away with a little bit of damage onto Karrigan, who's more than fine, being the kind of muscular vessel.
Is everyone muscular?
Everyone's pretty muscular.
Yeah, okay.
You know? Like, Twists, don't even get me started on that guy. Oh, nice nade. Good timing on that. Rain lobbed that in. Thanks to his insane upper body strength, these players down in the lower tunnels. Now that little bit easier for Twist to try and deal with. Still gonna get overran. MIBR, a man up early in this one, up against the bonus round of FaZe. They're gonna extend it even further now with this kill in middle.
A great start. FaZe's aggression comes back to punish them a little bit. And now MIBR can just group for a B hit. Right now it's only Robs. It is the one rifle. Keep that in mind. Tucked into the back of the site. He's going to hear the util coming out middle, and he's going to completely concede B. Awkward part is, it's not like Robs can even pick a couple of fights in mid and then go back for a retake. All he's doing is conceding the site for no fight in middle. He can try and back out from window. One kill coming out of Robs, and he's very low. That might just be sold for MIBR. That might just be the round with no mid picks available. As long as Henny tucks in, FaZe won't have the temptation to go for this. But Henny going for a bit of a peek. They line up. Good shot for Rain, but it's still not a round for FaZe. Karrigan's looking for an upgrade, and MIBR on the board early on. Good start. I think a lot of the early T-side rounds for MIBR, if they're not taking quick long spawns, are going to be, okay, let's just hold this slow default, play the map, wait for FaZe to make moves. We know they're going to be confident. Rain's got his clown makeup on, doing a bit of juggling in spawn. But Karrigan says, nah, there are guns right here. I got them. All good, though. One gun gets out. FaZe, that was only a bonus. They can rebuy. Rookies have got the orb. They set him right up. Fast out long, no one here. Did they just smoke long from Catwalk? I'm pretty sure FaZe did. That's interesting, but it won't get any respect out of MIBR, who had already got that corner smoke down. They flash their way out, and they'll have to get past Brokey if they want this site.
Yeah, this kind of double layered setup back within A gonna be kind of rough to get to see this one through to the very end. And we'll have smokes down, so that's gonna kind of limit the impact that someone like Carrigan's gonna be able to have from inside of the site, right? Instead, he's gonna be fighting them right as they get up ramp. His AWP's gonna be struggling to help out here. So, I like this maneuver. Tuurtle runs the smoke. My goodness. Throws himself into them. FaZe are expecting a lot more respect there. And Tuurtle, he's just won the round single-handedly.
Nice. Got to beat FaZe at their own game, it seems, if MIBR want to take this map away. What a crazy play to make. He even just got into spawn without getting spotted by that B player of Rops, who was crouched in the doorway. Just avoided that info. And, 2 kills is a great opener, but FaZe was still willing to try that round until he takes 3 out and puts Rain down to half health. That was a beautiful beginning. AWP lost as well. MIBR can take it if they want, but they seem to be backing out. Playing quick gun rounds instead. Just the rifles. Here's that replay, Tuurtle. Doesn't give a damn about who he's up against. And FaZe, yeah. You're not invincible. A short reminder.
Yeah, and these can actually be, some of the harder matches to have clean results in. If I'm being real, these are normally the ones that you see go a bit up in the air. That's why it was actually fairly impressive that G2 were able to battle through cleanly versus MIBR yesterday, right? It's always in these matchups where really the only result you can have is to lose. You either win and everyone goes, well, you were meant to win, good job, but expectations, you kind of met them. That kind of plays into the mental game somewhat. I think if MIBR hit the ground running here, which maybe they already have at a 2-2, starting to turn this one around and break the money, that's how this spirals out of control. MIBR have got the B bomb site. This round is free. You're going to throw some of the USPs in just to see if they can do anything, but they shouldn't do anything, and they probably won't.
Calling's been good though. MIBR have avoided the stacks both times. They go out long when FaZe went for the cat take, then they pop B on an anti-eco. FaZe were just leaning into that A site where MIBR have gone every round. So yeah, right now the calls are looking good. Obviously Jota you to it, and yeah, quite a difficult game to get geared in up against the best in the world.
Yeah, I think it's even harder because Jota used to be a real, one of the kind of real talking points within this MIBR squad is someone who could put up those big numbers, right? He finds himself maybe in a comparable position to, Electronic within Na'Vi, in that actually he was one of the kind of stars of this team who's now undertaken that role. And honestly, I think in the game from the other day, his scorelines weren't too bad. I think it is clear that, having the extra attention of having to micromanage everything is dropping off the numbers a little bit. But it feels like he's rising to the occasion right now.
For sure, and it certainly helps, maybe you lose some of that fragging, but hey, look at Mezzi in Fnatic, for example. You take that role, you lose a lot of fragging, but what do? You add in new players that can fill that void. And that's just how Fnatic did. MIBR brought Henny back into the fold. Bieta Enazan is running AK now over AWP, and we saw in that game against G2 yesterday, he was lights out in some of the rounds on Dust. He was hitting some, on Ancient, he was hitting some crazy shots in map 2. So yeah, I think there's at least firepower replacements here for MIBR. Rain coming in through that CT spawn smoke, gets spammed through the door. will live to tell the tale. MIBR don't want mid to be anyway. They go back up Cat, late long lurk for Tuurtle. Got to get past Karrigan, hit side, and no orb for Brokey this time. Grouping heavy long, minute on the clock, just enough time for MIBR to make this one work, but he's going to flash him out first.
Oh, they don't know about the man boosted. Yeah. Oh yeah, BR will spot it eventually. Brokey and Rain both dead in the A-hold. Karrigan's got the bomb. If he can win this next fight, that's really big. Oh, and that's a smooth move out of Karrigan. Gets past Henny's orb, now playing around the bomb. Karrigan not just content with dropping the bomb at long, he's even wanting to fight these players coming in from the A-bomb site. Beautiful round from the man at the helm of FaZe there. Just
very stylish, right? He realized that was the AWP. The guy flashing them all in from the back. He might have heard the scope. And I love the jump. It does two things. Not just he's trying to force Henny to fire off, right, and waste his bullet and then repeat. But Henny doesn't fire, rightly so. Still, Karrigan gets the info. He jumps, he sees the angle, and then he can grab the orb, close the round. Excellently done by the in-game leader.
You know, we've been hanging out with Karrigan a little bit here in Malta, and he seems very, very happy right now, very content with life. I think everything's kind of coming up Millhouse for this guy, and so, you know, that plays into it, you know? Like, he's more confident. Oh, he's more confident than ever right now. Without the voice break, please. They're going to go back and get the bomb from Spawn, MIBR. Grouping with 3 over on the catwalk. Tuurtle might have to bring that bomb through long. Crossing mid is a little bit scary. There's still plenty of smokes to get him out into middle. He's even got one himself.
FaZe just smoked mid door, so he might just take that, even though an orb could peer over it.
That's kind of the worry you're always having, but it's like, pick your poison. You either try to run mid to where everyone else is, or you go long.
Either way, it's poison. Better to group with your team. I mean, otherwise the entire round comes down to one gunfight, and that is it. Tuurtle will make it up Cat. Brokey's orb his car. Karrigan still has long, but there are no lurkers to worry about this time. 38 on the clock. They flash into Spawn. Jota leads in and gets that first headshot, but Brokey has a lot of targets to take out of thin air. Flashed back, Brokey under attack. He's going to throw out one of his own, and MIBR are dodging death for now. 20 seconds. They've still got to make it in, relying on Henny, and he delivers the goods. Out from lower. Exit catches the long flanker, and a 4-on-2 with MIBR getting a plant. We're seeing some very smooth rounds right now, and as FaZe have gone back into far more passive setups, MIBR are going to run exactly what they want. Run away! Exit, he can't. The nade will chase him down.
Of course, it's grimy old Rops throwing some like perfect angled nade off the corner of the stairs. Of course it is, but he can't outrun the bullets. Can't outrun the guns of Bia Eda Enazan. MIBR keeping the lead in their favor. Good start here to Dust2. And I like that they're really homing in on this map, you know? I like that they're trying to make it a real mainstay of the pool. It's one that, you know, domestically they've elected to play a lot. It's one that, you know, whenever they face the kind of upper echelons overseas, they often pull out. And I think it makes a lot of sense. The Death spoke about it already, but obviously with Jota being new to the IGL role, good to kind of nail down some of the basics. And it feels like Dust is really trying to be like the jumping off point for MIBR.
Oh, Henny hit that shot yesterday, but he will die immediately. Refaces mid without his orb ready. Brokey's there with a scout headshot. Jota's going to take that AWP instead.
Look at Rain.
Of course. Nothing to lose in a round like this.
Isn't T-spawn again? This time with even more time on the clock.
I think they saw him from long. And they're going to deal with him. So 5-on-4 lost quickly for FaZe. Brokey's still here in the site.
Yeah, he's had a bit of a rough go of it early on here as Brokey. Let's see if this is the scout round that gets him switched back on, shall we?
He's had one, you know, 2 orbs. Once where Tuurtle ran through the smoke and headshot him. He's already got a headshot in this round. He's feeling it. He's here to win it all. And Jota's, oh, he just dropped Pit about the right time, and they swing him together. Yeah, Enna getting that entry. Twist on the smoke gets cleared as they come up ramp, and it's all come crumbling down.
Props went looking for the gun that's all the way back in T-spawn, but Jota took extra time to shuffle that around.
He's trying to grab the scout.
Okay, I kind of love it.
Maybe shoot it.
Ooh! Karrigan, they know about you. Oh. And they all run him down. They're not even planting the bomb. They're just flushing him out. There's the AK. I knew that J-Raz would be flying around desperately trying to find it, and he's located it. Rops hasn't, though.
Not tall enough, mate. That's like, I think, about 4 Mauis, that roof.
That's about 9 feet for anyone who works in, you know, whatever unit of measurement that is.
Shoes. They're not going to exit this far, though, so Rops will have to run at them if he wants to get a kill or get a gun. And given that he would likely have a rifle in the follow-up round, it wouldn't be a bad call. On the flip side, bank that money, economy long game it. He's playing Bianca anyway, so he can tuck in and play an SMG on that site. Does leave Rops on this map not very activated as a Bianca. You're going to get B hits every now and then, more often than not on the anti-ecos. And so most of the time, going to be left out saving. MIBR saving the day right now, 5-3. Great T-side beginning. Brokey armed with his orb. Rob saves that money. FaZe rebuy, looking for success.
Calling it a timeout, it would seem.
Yes.
Does that maybe suggest they're feeling a little bit of pressure right now, Hugo? Maybe that this one could slip through their fingers. MIBR, I think, have already made a very compelling case on this T side. Not really getting flustered. It feels like FaZe were expecting a bit of a different level of respect out of their opponent here. I like it. MIBR play at like a variety of different paces throughout the round as well. Their reactions never feel easily readable in like a given spot. Henny's even pulling out the little AWP lineup hinge smoke here from Sport. That's going to give them a bit of an easier time getting out middle.
Insanity that someone figured that smoke out, even to this day. But boy, is it valuable. They have all the mid-room in the world. And Robs did upgrade to this orb, so might catch MIBR off guard, as they likely expected a Kara, where it has been in all of these rounds.
Yeah, it's super passive how he's electing to hold middle here, just waiting for them to come through the double doors. Or maybe wanting to swing this a little more now. And Robs will best Henny in that opening head-to-head, getting out in front of the MIBR AWP. Smoke's going down in towards CT. Robs has been...
Smoke singular, mate. They don't have another one. If you're going to throw
smoke.
one,
that's not
throw
the
that
one.
You throw the other one.
Ideally, the other one. Yeah. I know they can still get up in the little boost angle over it, but now they can just peek it from everywhere. Still, this B-split's attempting to come in, and Rain's got to contain this. He really has to. They're not checking for him. Oh, Rain! Right in the palm of his hands, and that double, you'd like to think that's enough, but Jota's going to get the plant down. It's the clash of the IGLs here. Jota with the AWP, repositioning such that he looks like he wants to try and fight this door angle. Karrigan's making noise now. Oh my god, Jota's got the info.
Should know.
Karrigan's repositioned, but Jota's aware, and he will win the 1v1 to find it. Puts a stop to Rain's corner camping antics over towards B, and then goes on to clutch out versus Karrigan in the 1v1.
Oh, rare misread from Karrigan there. And because Jota hears the steps and then checks door, he realizes, okay, if he's not actually door, there's only one other option. The Karrigan's coming through. Expected him to be close in the window. Nice double for Rain. Can't really ask for more with 10 seconds dropping the bomb like that, but Jota saves the day on the second door, but he's picked it back up for a long spawn as well. Karrigan. Oh, if he stayed on the angle. Missed headshot. He's going to get out of there. FaZe have had top mid when they want it, but as you've seen, every round Kara's been mollied. I was going to say, no one can really play at this game. Rain is just going to burn, accepts his fate in that round. Peeking would have probably met the same demise. Jota's just running the orb this round, and he's getting more and more picks. Missed shot for Brokey. MIBR breaking through, Harry.
Yeah, it's getting more and more legitimized as each round's going by. Yeah. You know, like when they're kind of early days, it's like 3-2. You're going, okay, this is pretty legit, but eventually it's going to turn around, right? And it feels like that ship might have sailed already. This half really starting to get away from FaZe Clan. Robs in another one of these save rounds, just trying to hold on to whatever he can find here. Deegan armor doesn't quite feel worth it. He would love to get hunted and get out with an AK, but MIBR not really going too far into the extremities of Dust. They're just going to stay around the bomb and play a bit of a numbers game here.
Very, very strong start. You worry for FaZe a little bit, but you know at any point they can wake up and turn it around. Gonna need some gun rounds to start building, though, because MIBR have a bit of a bank set up on this T side. I'm not too nervous yet, but it's all the makings of a very strong map for MIBR. We know it's their pick for a reason. And I imagine it will remain that way for every series in the Pro League. Coming in hard to start, and he's going to take that orb across B. Rain is going to be back to pushing up top mid. Absolutely no fear. Gets flashed for a fight, sees nothing. Knows that this is likely a B starter. But how long sits Tuurtle? Brokey welcomes that fight. And Jota stays in T-spawn to hold for a flank, knowing what Rain's been up to. It's a very slow start. I love this call for MIBR just to peek nothing. They've got a good bit of map control, you know, just having long and lower uncontested for the time being, letting this all work. But Robs, he hit that, by the way. I didn't even see Henny flick down. He still hit Robs, doesn't matter, dead. Orb gone. And so FaZe, they did exactly what MIBR wanted. They peeked right into that opening kill player and they still win it out. A massive frag for Robs. Off the back of it, MIBR going to group off this long control and try and take down Brokey. Remember what I said last round? Every round, Car is getting mollied. Brokey has no smoke. Carrigan's going to have to bail him out.
Gonna have to, and gonna have to leave the safety of the bomb site to do it, to lob that one over, but he has Brokey getting that opener. Oh, flashed off the angle now. They trade flashbangs, but they know about him here. And that second molly, there's no one to put that out. Brokey fed to the wolves. Carrigan flashed in for the swing. It's a good flash. And with support from Rain back in the site, things are starting to look up here for FaZe. A 1v3. Don't be deceived by the HUD.
Yeah, someone crashed, that means. But after death at least, or DC'd at least, it's a nice round out of FaZe. Everything went to plan. MIBR, I still really like the call for them. They're just trying to bail water from out the boat right as it's sinking, as they're drowning. That first pick, it's quick for Henny, but it's not on target.
Yeah, and you know, I mean, it's one of these things where, like you kind of correctly pointed out, it's a really nice idea. And honestly, it's one where, you know, all fights come down to some element of the other guy can win them in most situations, right? Like, no matter how safe you try to be, no matter how calculated you try to be, you're leaving it to the kind of coin toss of that opening fight, and you were well poised to get it, but Robs with the quick shot suddenly kind of changed the you know, it was a real paradigm shift to that round all of a sudden.
Yeah, it forced MIBR's hand because they're sitting in a really safe default, knowing how aggressive FaZe have been, and they know that if they get a kill, they can commit off of it, but if they lose a player, you know, it was under a minute, they have to just group and hit a bomb site, and Tuurtle had the most map control in that round, so they go and join him. Nice play from Brokey and Carrigan. That smoke came down immediately onto his Molotov, and he at least goes 1 for 1. And then flash peaks at long for FaZe. They did a good job of holding on to the necessary util, the bare minimum, to win that round. but it's only one round. It's in a sea of success for MIBR. After 4 in a row, the Brazilians will have no problem buying. We need more wins out of FaZe to close up this half. They will be disappointed at the start of Dust. Imagine a little tech as Henny has left the game, rejoined a couple of times, maybe having some problems, maybe not happy with how that round went. He wallbang drops, we saw in the replay, clipped him through the corner of the tunnel. But once Henny's back in and acclimatized, we will continue. Game faces on, fist bumps out. FaZe looking for a comeback.
Yeah, the comeback that's definitely still obtainable. Just need a couple more rounds like that last one. Gotta say, Robs has kind of been a bit of a promising sign, this double AWP. Really, it's been kind of Robs finding the bulk of the success there. Sometimes you can just tell when someone's having a bit of a shaky day. They don't look like themselves, and I would say that Brokey in a few of these fights hasn't looked entirely like himself yet, but always time to turn that around. Rain up close, overran. Tuurtle's got some smooth moves to get past him, and with only a tag from Twists, if that was the kill, you'd be going for this, but because it isn't, because you tag Tuurtle down to 9 HP, you're suddenly saving on the back of numbers alone, and now MIBR, at a bare minimum, have won out this first half.
That's why I'm loving the calling as well. Like, they recognize that FaZe are winning off of a double AWP. They know one of them, or at least they assume one of them's at B. Robs was actually starting boosted over that mid smoke to fight deep mid, but yeah, MIBR realized, hey, even if it isn't AWP at B, we sacrifice a player on the entry, we're gonna get in. Some really nice util coming over the top. Tuurtle jumps, weaves midair, and then lands, beats the hair. And Rain dying with nothing, like you said, signals the end of the round. It's a great call for MIBR. 5 alive, could not have gone better for them. And they win the half, at worst case. Celebratory for MIBR, but the game isn't done, rather. It's more T-side rounds to find. Let's see if they can pick them up. FaZe save with 4, can rebuy. Drop Rain over a gun, but they need to have their wits about them with tricks like that, knowing that MIBR can always just pocket push your B-bomb site. It's a little scary for FaZe. Had far more success over on long.
Henny. Whoa, timing shot. Does not connect. Rob still scoped up, staring for a fight down through middle. I don't know, man. It's like I say, MIBR, they always keep you kind of guessing with the pace. Like, sometimes they'll hit you with one of these fast up-tempo B rounds. Maybe they'll try running amok down through middle. Maybe Tuurtle goes sprinting through the double smokes at long. And then they'll hit you with a round like this, where nothing really happens for a solid, 30, 40 seconds outside of giving Henny room to try and pick with that AWP. And it's just really nice having FaZe always feel on edge, always questioning, is it right to use my utility now? Should I be smoking the tunnel yet? And you can see they've kind of gone through everything they've got in this B site. No util left to hold it, so they're going to get overran. Now Rob's moving in from middle, knows a big play's going to get made. That was a collateral, but he's spammed out through the smoke. This round's over. How do you save it again? MIBR on a 9.
How do you hit a collat and kill no one? That's what I want to know. He hit both Exit and Henny there. And wow, that's a crazy B take from MIBR. I love the way that they clear Rain out as well, right? He's stuck on Car. He's in a great multi-kill position. And not only do they swing him, but a player jumps over the top. It's just immediate double face. You can't even line them up. These are clean rounds out of MIBR, clean ways to get into bomb sites, well rehearsed, and they are just sinking FaZe's battleship right now. B9 for MIBR. And bewildered are FaZe. This was not the team that was supposed to give them such a hard time. But my God, as it started strong. And yeah, I mean, FaZe, MIBR, you said they're doing nothing, and you're not wrong, they are doing nothing, but they also managed to get every bit of util out of FaZe except a smoke and a Molotov left in that round once they went for the hit. They've got FaZe on the rocks. They've got them a little bit shaky right now. Yeah. They've got all those nades out, and the smoke for Twist, if it's 2 seconds earlier, maybe a very different round. Ooh. Double T orb. 4 orbs in the server. Tuurtle's actually going to swap it out. He had an AK laying around in spawn just for a long pick. They wanted to long pick and mid pick at the same time. It's going to cost them an AK. Robs, he has been solid. And he's going to need to continue holding down the fort at this B site. But even if they come here, it's only a fake out. Inch smoke from spawn again. MIBR outside long. Bomb undecided.
I mean, like, you know, but this is what I'm saying about, like, the pacing is just always changing, and FaZe never have any hints as to what's happening. Like, I have all the info on the map, and even then I'm like, okay, this looks like an A play, but, you know, you're not actually that committed into the idea of it being an A play. You've got a lot of room to swap this up on the fly based on how fights go across the map.
Well, that's part of, you know, we talk about overpass and people complaining about the T sides, about how obvious and how hard it is to rotate. This map is the quintessential opposite. The T's can change their mind at the drop of a hat and completely rotate to another side of the map. Brokey, he's found that long pick. They jumped through. He saw it. Oh, and he goes back for more. Lovely shooting for Brokey, and these are the rounds that FaZe was made for.
Oh, they nearly lose Carrigan, but they will spam him eventually. Brokey putting on a show. Is cancelled out. Jota takes ownership of the A-bomb site now, moving in for MIBR. Bomb's going to make it across. Strong throw for Henny. Does put the bomb in Jota's hands, but the nade. Oh, the nade. It's dropped the bomb with 10 seconds left. Henny now needs to get across and get the bomb down. Peeked from short, and now he knows about the second. Twist just takes it over the line. That gets uncomfortably close, considering that FaZe had that one in the bag. It's a good attempt from Henny just to keep the pressure on.
If Henny hits that shot, it's 11-4 at the half, Harry. It's cooked. It might be 12-3. Like, it's oh no, sorry, yeah, 11-4 rather. It's a very bad spot for FaZe. What a save from Twist, but more importantly, Brokey, who actually stops that attack in its tracks with 3 kills at the start of the round on his AWP. This is a wild game, and MIBR are very competitive. Rain's getting aggressive. That's more like it, more from Rain. But again, it's only a 1-for-1. He's taken out the heavy hitter, one of the entry players from MIBR. Vieira and Azan's 4-1 in opening duels, now 4-2. Well, I guess statistically still one because Rain got that first entry. Brokey catches Jota leaving long, and he even goes through.
Brokey's starting to look better. Yeah. This is starting to look more like classic Brokey. Maybe it's going to happen with enough time left to save the game.
The Brokester.
Aggro through long, and he's just heard them going back. Well, out of all the places... Oh, hello.
They know.
They're leaving him.
Stack B. Stack B, guys.
And at this point, he hears all this. He's saying, all right, get to B. Get to B right now, everybody. We've got a minute on the clock, and I know where they're going. He's right behind them, ready to come in on the backstab is Brokey. And if he gets posted with the AWP quick, that's it. That's the collateral. Even going back in for more. Suddenly, MIBR realize they are trapped in this cage of the tunnels. And with Carrigan coming up lower, it's going to save a 6-round half for the FaZe clan, with Brokey getting switched back on. A couple of rounds in at the end there. Is that enough for this comeback to happen for FaZe?
To the cathedral, ladies and gentlemen. This is a final of biblical proportions. Grand Slam on the line. This will be one for the history books. It's time, ladies and gentlemen. Let's light up the Luxus!
The first part of 2019 was all about Team Liquid, and for good reason, as this North American roster plowed through most events without breaking a sweat. And it was no different in the Cathedral of Counter-Strike.
Oh no, oh, nearly got knifed. Smoke's down, he has to get around them somehow. And he gets it through the window!
As favorites, Liquid went all in during the tournament, and soon found themselves just inches away from the trophy and the prestigious $1 million Intel Grand Slam. Only Vitality stood in their way, and even though the battle ahead would be tough, Twist set the tempo almost instantly.
MIBR doesn't want to let them go that far this time. He takes the fight to them. Twist even gets one at range, down to just two. How does Twist find the second? He's got the bomb, he's got armor. Twist! He baits him out somehow! A third! And he's looking for it all the ways. The RPK's gonna try and swing around the backside. Twist switches back to the Deagle instead. Confidence in his name. He's in his RPK is found!
Team Liquid, that's what it means to them. ESL 1 Cologne under their belt and $1 million bonus.
Unreal.
Well, temperature check on this one. MIBR are looking lights out, hot to trot to open up FaZe. They've been drinking the mercury right now, Hugo. Getting a little bit lightheaded in this one, as the half did get away from them. They were able to stumble back to their feet and put up 6 rounds there on the CT side. But as to whether or not that's going to be enough, well, we'll have to find that out here and now.
Yeah, there's something in their toothpaste, and it's not too minty, Harry. It's making FaZe lightheaded. Let's see if they can brush it off and pick up the slack. Tuurtle coming in from lower with the Julies. Ooh. FaZe, will they run into this one? Could dedicate a flash. Or they could just clear him out. Shoot him in the head. How many can he really get? There's one. And there's done. That's a good trade for FaZe. They get full mid control now. Any flashing more fights in mid. Jota's looking for him. Very keen to engage in this game. FaZe of Cat. They've got MIBR split 2-2. I'm going to dress this A site in smokes. Rain's even picked up the Julies. Jota's going to have to give it up, play safe, and as the flashes force some respect, FaZe should get a plant.
Yeah, Twist trying to run down these long kills. It's a really nice dink to open up. That second man having to just retreat away. Jota waiting for his teammates. Oh, hello. A little bit of a reply. Suddenly, he's not this, you know, having to like run away from these fights. Suddenly Jota's wanting to be the defining part of them, trying to battle his way back up long, even having time to get the reload off and then swapping to a gun with less bullets in it. That's kind of ballsy. I mean, more bullets overall, less in the magazine. Let's see. Ooh. Jota certainly making a case for it. Carrigan in the 1v3. They don't have a kit, so one kill in the right place could do it, but triple swung on that little peek. Well, double swung, one on the bomb. It's a pistol round for MIBR, who are now on to double digits in this one. Looking like Dust2 could go their way.
Yeah, aim punch there, nothing to do unless you stop the planter and they go wide enough that the cover is good there for MIBR. What a game we've got right now, Harry. Not just a phenomenal T-side where you could see those last couple of rounds at the end for FaZe. They realized, like, why are we giving so much respect? Let's go back to what worked at the start of this game. Some very aggressive rounds, some pushes up lower, Brokey flanking Spawn after his long kills. Just FaZe, you know, doing what they should be doing in this game. But in the middle of the half, there was a lot of passive rounds. MIBR just got to run exactly what they wanted, and some really nice B hits in there as well. If they could actually clean sweep this on CT side, that would be mad impressive. FaZe are forced up with Galils. It's going to leave their util lacking. Oh my god, they might even get caught throwing nades. And Harrigan doesn't know, but they're running at him. Talk about disrespect. It goes both ways. MIBR are not waiting around. Tuurtle drops that molly, forces FaZe forward. They were going for it anyway. Rain, he sees them come through the smoke, and he deals with Jota. Now they can set up this B split, spamming the smoke with his back turn. Tuurtle jumps over the top and falls down below. Rain's a dead man. Low health in middle. Robs can't hit that tap, and MIBR pull back.
Starting to feel bad for Rain, man. Guy's doing everything he can in this one. Trying to keep FaZe competitive. This force buy's gone nowhere quickly, and it's left Robs in a really, really rough spot. 1v3, does at least have the bomb. And with a 1v1 in the A-bomb site, there could still be a route back into this, but it really hinges on a couple of things going his way. This first fight needs to be clean, for example. If he gets brought down too low, this should make it a pretty safe one for MIBR. Okay, as far as clean fights go, that's kind of it. 60 health remaining. He's still fairly tanky in this now with the bomb planted. Both players up the short side. It's a good try, but Exit just catches him as he tries to duck back down. Tries to get out of there. The clutch denied. MIBR onto 11 with a bomb plant and a 1v1 right at the end. FaZe, you could even make a case for throwing more money into this all over again.
Don't do it, FaZe. Don't do it. Don't dig yourself a grave. I mean, it's their best play,
like,
isn't
because they're feeling like, you know, that they are the favorites, guys. We might have to just feign a bit of confidence. Like, come in with the big guns. Get on the board early. Yeah, they're gonna do it, man.
It's very dangerous, right? Like if you lose this game, you come back and you think about these kind of buys. But at the same time, yeah, having MIBR's money on the rocks like this is better than letting it build to a point where it's out of control. Robs doesn't even need the scope to throw this smoke. I've never seen anyone line it up without a scope. I'd like to say that. Robs, I'm sure it will land. He actually didn't throw it in the end. Oh, he did. Sorry, he did. And it's perfect. Of course it is. It's Robs. You know, he's got some calculator out, counting the tick rates. Carrigan gets them off Cat. They fall back. Molotov, he couldn't see them aggress. And again, Tuurtle's back for more. Looking to snap some heads off. Carrigan caught out. There's a trade. That might be good for FaZe, but again, they're being flanked. I love this calling out of MIBR. They've had enough. They don't want to give FaZe any room nor respect. Rain gets tagged on that cross. They're going to make it into the site.
Oh, but the bomb was lost to cross. Twist stayed scoped. I don't think he knew he had the bomb.
Oh, it's all cooked now.
Yeah, that's really... And they're getting long flanked. Oh, there's another flank, guys.
Over, yeah.
It's scuffed. It's scuffed. I really wish they kind of just looked to get that bomb planted. They kept challenging mid, waiting to try and turn that like into an even more favorable spot. I don't think there's anything flat out wrong with it. It's just the bomb couldn't have been the thing that hangs around.
FaZe is just expecting way more respect in these rounds. And because they're on forces with no util, with, you know, bad guns, they're just grouping and hitting together. No one's watching flanks. MIBR are just pushing, and it's working so well. Right off the back of FaZe already feeling the pressure of losing that first half and the way they lost it as well, with dominant rounds coming down the barrel for MIBR. This problem is getting worse and worse as we go deeper. 13-6 almost a guarantee as FaZe have to eco this round. And then they've got to mount a massive comeback. If they don't, MIBR are stealing the map away and taking their first map of this season. Highbrow humor from Robs.
Get it, guys? Do you get it? Brokey Fast down short. Oh. There we go, Broke. Come on now. Show him the Brokester. Give him a bit of a vintage Brokey round. Need it now more than ever because MIBR are running away with this one. The gun's been juggled down into mid. Rain asked for it, and so he shall receive. Said that this guy's been doing everything in his power to keep FaZe in this one. Well, this would be the time to show it. Quite the man to have lost early as well. Jota, often fairly pivotal in the mid-round, influencing the outcome of these moments. Yeah, Enazan fighting middle, out of ammo now, but he's still alive. He's just dancing around the mid doors. Exit, even getting involved. That was all the way over at B.
They've got the site. Tuurtle needs to cancel this flank. I mean, they could all retake from Cat together. FaZe, I guess, are going to be very scared of
giving them a lot of room here.
Yeah, this is still, again, a very fast flank for MIBR. And FaZe are paranoid. Yeah, they're trying to work it out. They don't have long. They're scared of it. They also know that MIBR are going to play in the site.
This is really rough. Like, all stuck inside of A when you know there could be a long flank. Ooh, they're trying to take some space. And it's a nice maneuver to at least... You know, keep them from being boxed in. Tuurtle dead. Looking into the wall. Brokey's run him down. FaZe might be about to do it on the force buy. A swing from Twist is traded by Brokey. And Henny decides that this round is not MIBR's. FaZe have ownership of it. It starts with Brokey opening up onto the catwalk, juggling that gun around. He goes on to get 2 more.
Yeah, Tuurtle plays so safe there. And he realizes, like, he goes on that big flank, but I just thought he would commit with it because by the time the FaZe are taking Cat, he was already right behind them with his team. It would have been nice to see them full retake together, but instead he goes all the way round and doesn't phase. The reason he's looking into the wall is he wants to swing late and have his crosshair on ramp, but FaZe just took so much space in the post plant. He was not expecting it. I mean, it's FaZe's only option. Like you said, if they're stuck in the site, they're screwed there. So FaZe go hunting. They go gunning for long. And they win it out. Finally, a T-side round comes down, and it's an eco that does it. At 13-6 is not here. And so could that be the round that springboards FaZe back into this game? Because remember, all these close rounds previously, FaZe had finally been willing to give it away and let MIBR build up a bank account with that eco round. Well, they don't do it. So this game now is a little closer than maybe it will appear, as FaZe are going to have to deal with scouts, MP9s, and a weak buy.
Something that's so like mad to me is, you might like assume this is maybe FaZe like underestimating MIBR. Maybe they haven't done like, as much warm up as usual, something like that. But not at all the case. Their Prakram's right next to ours. They've been in it all damn day getting ready for this. And this is the game we're getting. Even this round is off to the most dire of starts, right? They try to go for this long control early, and look at what they have to show for it. They've lost 2 players. They've armed a partially bought MIB. They were force bought, but it felt like a partial buy. There was nothing in the round, really. Now, suddenly, they're armed with rifles on pretty much everyone. Yeah, you still have the Scout and the MP9, but situationally, they're still great. And it's only getting better. Tuurtle's just nailing them on the long cross. It might be a flawless round on the low econ investment. Rain at least takes 1 out of it, but he can't expect to win this. You can't expect him to win this. A 1v4 needed, and he's going to fall to the man from long. Tuurtle appearing in their nightmares.
Yeah, he has been super oppressive in the second half, hasn't Tuurtle, right? He was one of the guys going on these quick Cat flanks in previous rounds. FaZe just can't stop this this steamroll. It's gonna keep growing in size and speed every single round from MIBR, especially when they're hitting such clean shots like they are. Bells rung for FaZe. 13-7. What on earth? Brokey squeezing out a hinge. FaZe finally run a slow default, gonna flash their way to middle. In case of a Cat AWPer, Henny does have his. He's not really been the man we rely on in this game, and that's the most shocking part. Considering in that G2 match, it felt like Henny was the only player doing anything on Dust. A lot harder on Ancient, but certainly started the series strong. Well, they don't need him right now. 13-7, MIBR, full bought. FaZe a little weaker. Carrigan selling it today, but it's all a mid to be. It's all a ruse.
Yeah, this is kind of the first like proper attempt at misdirection for FaZe on the T side, right? It has kept a lot of bodies over towards A, and that's going to serve them well. Oh, exit!
Damn.
3 kills on the MP9 from 1 mag. That's crazy. And so suddenly the round is not so dangerous. And man up in the retake. They got to try and get past Rops. Tuurtle, oh, doesn't check for it. Rops taps him out with ease. The next man coming up through the tunnels is Henny with this AWP. And he's going to be worried about the corner, going to be paranoid about it. That could let Brokey get away with this. There's a trade available at least. Henny, I don't know how you can win this. It's essentially the 1v2, and he's baited into looking into that corner. Jota is so far away, so far removed. He was already looking to save. And even though he might come in on this backstab, remove some of these guns, it's still a FaZe round. Whether he does or doesn't. 8-13. Another little glimmer of hope maybe for FaZe. Can't afford to just be a flash in the pan. They need to start chaining rounds together. Everything they've gotten so far on this T side has just been little one-and-done rounds.
Yeah, well, they were meant to win the previous round and go on that little streak. Now, again, that option is presented with MIBR requiring a force buy here. 2 players on 1400. There's going to be a couple of rifles in the mix dropped over. Brokey very close on that lower shot. Henny makes it though. He won't hang around. He gets that nade in, shows he's here, and then leaves. It's going to force more time to be wasted by FaZe as they clear the tunnels. Don't seem too scared though. They get it under control. Young fragger of Bia and Azan holds under that smoke. FaZe will hop their way up Cat. Got a naughty double long setup. Jota's fully baiting in pit to let Tuurtle just get a kill, die, and they'll never check the bottom of pit. If FaZe go long, I feel bad for them already. I can see this one happening. I can see FaZe discounting this position completely.
Bro, Turtle's gonna get 2 at least. That feels like it's his whole shtick, you know, like his whole thing.
Less Tuurtle, more Jota. Even if he dies with nothing. It's that pit play, man.
Yeah, like the little bait and switch between the two of them. I'm being real, I'm more worried about this 5-7 for whatever reason. Oh, God. Oh, God.
Dear.
Well, there's the 2 at least, as promised.
Called it.
That third still waiting in the wings. It's Brokey with the AWP and the bomb, by the way. I'm sure Edazam wins the 1 fight needed. And Brokey still stuck waiting with this package. The bomb trapped in the long doors as Tuurtle tears through them. 5-7 to try and close, but he can't stop Brokey from escaping. That's Henny's job. There's the scene of the crime. And it was a Tuurtle to do it.
Yeah, and Jota and Pit even killed Rain on the bomb site. So, yeah, no way to get back in there. No way to stop Tuurtle in the corner. Don't know how he gets a double with a pistol there, but the 5-7, very effective.
That's literally it's been every single long take. Tuurtle hiding somewhere, be that up on plat, you know, over towards Pit, fighting from the corner, pushing a blue bin, that time all the way up at the long doors. He's always multi-killed it. He's always dealt with them in some, you know, overachieving capacity.
And I like how much, you know, MIBR is still utilizing pauses while they're in control of this game, right? They're not getting ahead of themselves. They're not pretending this one's done. They had some very aggressive rounds in the early half, but now they've fallen back into more standard CS, playing double setups, not feeding FaZe in the early round now that gun rounds have come out. And honestly, FaZe have just been mopping together trash buys all half, partly because they can't string rounds in a row, but also just because of this, the forcing early because they got MIBR's money low. Like, I don't think we've had maybe no more than 1 full rifle round with the AWP with full util. So it has been a very quick second half, and it might get closed out here and now if MIBR can win this round. 15 on the cusp. Gap is Cat, but Henny can turn around. creepy, all
They're
right.
really hinging. They're really hinging again, though, on either finding the right gap, which they have done right now. But even more than just finding the gap, they need to win this opening fight. If FaZe get this first kill, if they go 5v4 up, I think they win the round. I think they're pretty comfortable there. So much of this is weighted heavily around the opening frag. Robs could be the man to get it. Oh, instead it's going to go the other way. Now he has slowed down the rotate at least, maybe buying a bit more time for these players back in the site, but after falling, after going 4v5, look at the results. It's all come undone for FaZe. Karrigan's gonna go out with nothing done. They might have found the gap, but that is the only thing that goes their way. A bomb plant gonna give them a tiny bit more money before this half is over. It's a flawless round for MIBR, who played complete retake at that A bomb site. And this is really rough. I think the best T-side round that FaZe have had is the one where they were able to misdirect with some A utility and then launch into a fast B play. And even that one still got a little bit wild. The problem is FaZe have not been able to run fakes. Everything they've been doing has been super, you know, like just grouped as 5, going where they first appear, having to pick up pace wherever they kind of make that first contact. And it's because they haven't had the utility, they haven't had the buys to actually do anything grander than that, right? And it's left them in a really bad way. It meant that this T-side looked very uninspired, but it's more of a product of the times than, you know, how they want to be playing.
There's also just some sloppy shots, like, you know, FaZe missing their fights, and this is a team of superstars in their own right, so kind of unexpected. It might be all look very sharp in the server, and, you know, FaZe, I would not expect them to be a team missing shots, but there certainly has been some of that in the mix. Karrigan walking the AWP and even pulled nades. Not that that was going to save him, having his gun out. There were 2 players there. And now FaZe, I mean, they lose long. It gets retaken with no utility. And MIBR, perfect Molotov, cuts them in 2. Rain gets out with the bomb. No one else does. And he's only going to get deep before he gets put down to bed. 3-on-3. Twists and Brokey with some trades has given FaZe a plant. And MIBR have to decide, is their money worth it going for this round? They certainly could. They've got players low. There's not much post-plant util for FaZe. And MIBR are looking for a lurker. There is none. I'd love to see them go for this round, but they might notice how important this lead is and just keep it. Why give FaZe a way back in? It's not the most confident round after what has been a very confident game from MIBR, but 3-on-3 at the B site, a long way out. You can understand it.
Yeah, no, 100%. And I think while you have this much room, it's the best time to make calls like this. You know, you're not feeling that pressure yet to attempt the kind of 3v3 that could put your money in a bit of a rough way if you lose it. Instead, you just sit outside of the site, you get yourself posted to keep the damage high at the end of it. And then you have a very, very cheap go at it again in this round. And that's great. It's going to mean that for FaZe, they've really got to grind through these full buys that MIBR are really always going to have if they keep the save game looking good. As mentioned, every single round that FaZe have won thus far on this T side has been a one and done. They have not chained together rounds yet. So will history repeat itself? Will that be the 9th before MIBR finds 16? Or will FaZe finally be able to make this a little more interesting?
Oh, they hop over. Good flashes. Turtle's in pit, though. Is
Will he multi-kill again?
Oh, yes, he will. More headshots galore for Tuurtle.
Insanity.
It's what he was made for. 5-on-3. MIBR have to do right by this round and close it out. Send FaZe to the Shadow Realm. Send them to nuke. Henny here to press that big red button. On the warheads, but he's dead. Caught unscoped as Robs comes back, and FaZe have been given a chance to 3-on-1 this B site.
This is nice. Once again, close as we've really had to misdirection in a little while out of FaZe. Trying to come up through middle, trying to make the best out of this horrible situation. Now down to a 2v4, the bomb moving up. Gonna try and get him B alone. They lose Robs in mid, and there's Bia and Enazan to close. MIBR pick up the win on Dust2. Their map pick goes their way, and now a map up in the series. This would be quite the upset in Group B if they're able to keep this kind of form coming down the pipeline.